you think in times of COVID and pandemic, no, real estate investing in the Philippines is still good?
I think just now, this point was also shared. I shared with you the real example here. When COVID happened last year, everybody was projecting that the real estate prices will come down, maybe about 20-30%, even in Singapore. So all of us were preparing for that. Although we know in the long term, things will still be good. But as you can see, those who are in the know, real estate prices ironically have gone up, not just in Singapore, but all the cities. You have a lot of friends in New Zealand, Canada, Australia, Hong Kong. You ask them. You don't even have to ask me. The prices have gone up during pandemic. Why? Because the pandemic has changed, and in fact, it has made real estate investment all the more important, because a roof over your head is now a must during the pandemic.
Wow, thank you very much. Oh my, iba talaga yung point of view ng iba. Can you just imagine how many years you are practicing realtor as a realtor in Singapore, Sir Pocho?
25 years, more than 25 years. And that's why, I've experienced all this, and it really pains me. That's why I encourage many of my Filipino friends that regardless of your financial situation now, if you have little income, you buy small. You got mid income, buy a little bit bigger. If you have a lot of income, then you have to buy bigger one and invest. And it's really true that if I knew this earlier, I would have actually forced my family members to invest early so that they can actually retire early. So the other things that I can tell you why I say you must invest now, not just COVID, but also the minute the prices start going up in Philippines, there is one definite thing that will happen, because eventually those who missed out will complain, and the government will then have to do something. Most of the time they will say, okay, because foreigners are buying, I'm not happy, because how can foreigners be buying real estate in Philippines, and then the prices go up, the foreigners will benefit, right? This is a common problem in all the major cities. So the government will come in to cool down the prices by introducing few measures. The two main measures will be what we so-call monetary policy. The other one is fiscal policy, right? Monetary policy, they will make it very difficult for you to borrow. And the fiscal policy is they introduce levies, stamp fees. If you buy say a $4 million peso, they will introduce, let's say, stamp fees of 10% or 15% and things like that. Now, so if you don't invest now, when the prices keep going up, not only that the prices went up and then you cannot afford, but even if you can afford, you want to buy, the policy will make it for you very difficult. I give you an example. In 1988, when I started working as a bank officer, 88, 89, and that time, because I came from very poor family, I was the only graduate from my family. So I have a very good income then, although not very, very high income, but good income. Do you know in 1988, 1989, the bank financing in Singapore was 100%.
Wow!
Some banks were giving 103%. Why the 3% come about? Because when you buy a real estate, the government you got to pay a stamp fees. Even the stamp fees, the bank is willing to lend you, because the banks were very confident of the real estate also. If you are the boss of a bank, why are you doing that? It implies that you believe in real estate. But as a new graduate, I have no courage. My salary technically, when you buy real estate, you don't have to come up with money. You just show your employment salary. The bank is prepared to lend you, right? But I didn't. But today, even if you take your very first bank loan, you can only borrow maximum 75%. Okay, if you take your second loan, how much loan you can get? You can only get 45%. So that is to say that if you do not invest now, when the Philippine real estate prices go up, I can assure you in 10 years' time, the government will definitely have to do something. You'll be something like that. They'll make it difficult for you to borrow money, and then they will introduce a lot of levy. You got to pay a lot of stamp fees to make it very difficult for you to buy. Okay. So now that it's affordable, you buy now. COVID or no COVID. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir Pochu.